Alright, so I've been working through this little 302 powered Mazda RX-7. Got the carburetor rebuilt, and it ran real good, but under light acceleration it would almost seem like it had a miss. So I pulled the air cleaner off and looked down the throat of the carburetor, and under partial throttle, where not quite 2,000 RPM yet, I would start to see fuel coming out of my booster here. And I started to look around, and I thought, well, either our emulsion circuit is plugged, which on these Edelbrocks it's real exposed to the air, so that's the first thing you want to make sure you blow out and check. And this booster comes off so you can get at it really easy. And if that's clean, the next thing is the float level. Now, you can't set these externally on these Edelbrocks. They're not quite as good and user-friendly as Holley's, in my opinion. So anyway, you got to pull the top off, and so we're going to take a look at the float height. You can never assume that what other people do is right, and this float height stuff here really shows that. So if your float height is set too high, that allows for too much fuel to be in your float bowl here, and then with that fuel there's more weight coming down on your jet, and that fuel will start flowing too early before there's good enough vacuum signal through the booster for it, and it won't atomize well. So it was coming through in like droplets here, I could see, and the engine was obviously not running up to full performance. So, you know, I did a little poking around here, and this isn't nothing that no one else couldn't find either, but you know, you can never just assume that other people have things right. So taking a look at these actual floats and getting to how to set them, you want to use a 7/16 drill bit, or you can use measuring tape, but this is honestly easier. And you want to set your floats so that that bit just barely fits under there without moving the float. So that's specified. Now we can see here, I haven't adjusted this one yet, and this is how much higher those floats were riding than they were supposed to be. So they're allowing way too much fuel in the bowl. Now when you want to go to bend these down, you don't want to just grab this and, you know, pull it and bend it down. You can you'll damage different stuff. So what I do is I'll pull this, you know, the little rod, retaining rod out here, and then I'll just bend it by hand and put it back in and check things through. So anyway, I just wanted to make a mention of that, and that should clean up our problem. So it was pretty apparent that we had a problem with our float height. So anyway, with your Edelbrock carburetor, that's something you want to look out for, and that's how to adjust your float level.